Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Now ladies and gentlemen, this is very serious. And trust me when I say this. Our rulers, right? You all know I like to call them our rulers because that's what they think of themselves as. Or the elite, or the people that sit on Capitol Hill. Pick your favorite flavor of the day, right? They are loving this. You see this right here? You see the levels of water in the Hoover Dam right now? They're the lowest that they've been, I think it says here, since 1984 or something like that. But look at this. This is incredible. I remember going to the Hoover Dam a long time ago, around 1994 or so. Myself, my wife, and Victor, when he was just 6 months old, we passed through the Hoover Dam and it was beautiful. We did a little tour. It was just beautiful. I actually did a paper on the Hoover Dam when I was in college. So I know a lot about it, a lot of how much construction actually went into it, how much concrete. It's incredible. Incredible feat of human ingenuity. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how much water is missing from this structure. Normally the water would be somewhere around here, right, where I have my mouse here. You see the water lines over here? That's normally where the water would be. And that is just an incredible amount of water. And not only is it costing farmers and businesses their livelihoods, but I believe that our rulers love this. Because ask yourselves a question. Will your senators, congressmen, governors, whatever you want to call these guys, right? Are they going to go without water? Do you really think that they are taking 1-minute showers? Do you really think that their homes don't have green lawns? Ask yourselves that. Honestly and seriously, ask yourselves that question. No, ladies and gentlemen. It is us, the average layman, that will go without. When there is a shortage of food because there's not enough water to go around, it is us that will go without. It will be our shortage, not theirs. So this is the time to prepare. This is so serious that it should be being talked about in every news channel on TV. Not that I would notice because I don't watch TV, but you know what I mean. That's how serious this is. I think it's at least 50%, if not more, of the foods that are farmed and produced in the West Coast, especially in California, feeds the U.S. About 50% of the produce that come out of California, I think it's 75%, but I'll stick with 50%, comes out of California to feed the rest of the U.S. What does this mean if farmers are not being rationed enough water to grow crops, to feed America? It means that prices are going to go to the stratosphere. And listen, I'm telling you right now, I'll go ahead and put myself on record right now. Here, if this continues, which it looks like it will continue, here in the next year, maybe 2, you're going to be paying 2 to 3 times more for most of the foods that you eat, unless you purchase on a local basis and or grow your own food. You're going to be paying 2 to 3 times more. So do you want to earn 200% on your investment? Ask yourself that question. If I told you right now, hey, listen, you can invest in this, and within the next 2 to 3 years, you'll earn 200%. Most people will be like, absolutely. Tell me what stock should I buy? Well, let me tell you what stock you should buy. Stock your pantry. Because those foods that you buy today, even though they're a lot more expensive than they were last year, in 2 to 3 years, they'll be 2 to 3 times more. So if you want to earn 200% on investment, go ahead and stock your pantry. Because that's what you're going to earn by keeping a full pantry, keeping those items rotated, and making sure that you buy what you eat. And then eat what you buy. This is a different article, but I just wanted to go over this really quick. It says here, a mega drought in California is expected to lead to water shortages for production of everything from avocados, they had to say avocados, to almonds, and could cause prices to rise. Do you think so, ladies and gentlemen? Are they telling us anything here that we don't know? And if you don't know that, if you didn't know that before coming across this video, go do your own research. That way you can convince yourself to stock up. Man, I've been saying this forever. I've been saying, ladies and gentlemen, you have to stock up on food and water and those things that you need. And here, from a year and a half ago to today, things have just about almost doubled. Really, they have. If not at least 50%. I mean, most cuts of meat have almost doubled. I almost had a heart attack yesterday because I was at Costco taking care of a maintenance issue on one of my vehicles. And of course, while they're taking care of your vehicles, what do? You go and stroll around the store. I almost had a heart attack because I came to the meat section and there was actually some chicken thighs that were like 1 day from their expiration date or best by date. Really, it's expiration date on meats. But they were like within 1 day from their expiration date, and they were on sale for 99 cents a pound. My eyes almost popped out of my head. I was like, oh my goodness. So I started doing some calculations in my head. And I was like, how much room do I have in the freezer? Okay, All right, I got 3 packs at 99 cents a pound. I haven't seen those prices in I don't know how long. Thank goodness that people weren't buying chicken thighs, because these ones that were 1 day away from them having to throw them away, they're in my freezer right now. All right, I got just enough to stock up my freezer to where I think I might be able to fit a popsicle in there. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the deal. If you can afford to have a little bit of dry powder on the side, meaning a little bit of extra cash on the side that you don't have any plans for, go ahead and do that. That way, when you come across those deals that you weren't expecting to come across, you can jump on them without having to wonder where you're going to get the funds from. Right? So that's the moral of that story. But I am very glad that I had an appointment yesterday. I actually have another one today. I have to go to Costco again today to check it out. And I know there's going to be a few things on sale on Costco from the video where I went over the sale items that were going to start on the 23rd. And I'm definitely going to pick a couple of those things up that I've been waiting for them to go on sale. So, however, I digress. Here it says California is facing its worst drought in 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I think they're off by 100. California is facing its worst drought since at least the Dust Bowl. And then some scientists say that it's even worse than that, that it's the worst drought since about 400 years back. It says here that water levels continue to fall. Farmers have left large portions of their fields unseeded because they know they're not going to have the water to water their fields. In some cases, farmers are actually tearing out whatever crops they do have in favor of allowing whatever water they do have rationed to them to go to other crops. So that even if they have a tree or a crop in the field that they know is going to die anyways because it's not going to be enough water, they're just tearing it out. And a lot of people may say, well, the farmers are going to be okay because they're going to be subsidized by the government. First of all, no one is subsidized by the government. They're subsidized by us, the citizens. So make sure that you understand that. All right? And that's one of the reasons why I said when I started this video that our rulers must be loving it that we're running out of water in the west part of the United States, because that is how they control us, ladies and gentlemen. They control us via taxes, via food, and now obviously they're going to start to control us via water. But ask yourselves this question. How much stimulus or how much money does it take for the government to print to give to these farmers for them to be able to grow food? I love the Ice Age farmer, and one of his best quotes that I can think of is, you can print all the money in the world, but you can't print food. All right? And yes, I know we can print food now, but is it really food? I know some people would jump in there and say, well, we can print food now. They're printing meats and stuff. Yes. Is it really food? So, ladies and gentlemen, my point is that it doesn't matter how much money these farmers are given. It doesn't matter how much money these ranchers are given. They cannot print money and make food come out of thin air. It's impossible. Here it says the Hoover Dam's water falls to its lowest level ever as California's mega drought puts more than 2 million people under emergency rations. 2 million people under emergency rations, ladies and gentlemen. The water level of Lake Mead at the Hoover Dam is projected to hit 1,071 feet, sinking to its lowest level on record since the 1930s, reaching the level that would trigger a federal declaration of a water shortage. The lake's water level is expected to continue declining until November of 2021, as more than half of the western U.S. is either an extreme or exceptional drought. And most of it, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is under exceptional drought, which is worse than extreme. Folsom Lake, a reservoir in Sacramento, has reached its lowest levels since 1977, containing only 361,000 acre-feet of water, which is about 37% of its capacity. It's 2/3 empty. I am an optimist by nature, but in this case, I'm not going to use 1/3 full. It's 2/3 empty, ladies and gentlemen. And it seems that this year, they may not have as much of a snowpack as they have in previous years, which really helps to bring the water levels up. And we'll go through a slide of that here in a second so I can show you. Now, I'm not an engineer, and I have brought this up before. Why, instead of building a multi-billion-dollar railway, why don't they invest in a little bit of desalination plants? Why don't they make some of those? I believe I heard Grayman Prepping talking about this about a week or so ago, saying that a desalination plant goes for a big one, you know, the largest one that they make, go for about $500 million. That may sound like a lot of money, but right now California has about $70 billion or so in excess funds because of the money that they got from the federal government for this health crisis. So they have about $70 billion in excess funds or so. And they're going to use a lot of that money to do a lot of social programs that it may help some people in the short term, but in the long term, those same people that is helping, they're going to have to tax them to death in order to be able to get more water from out of state. Because eventually, ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen is they're going to have to start trucking in water. I don't see any other way. Unless they build desalination plants, and like I said, I'm not an engineer, so I'm not sure what kind of a feat that would be, how big of a feat that would be for them to do that in order to at least supply the shortage that they have right now. But unless they build this, where else are they going to get water from? They're going to have to truck it. They're going to have to truck it from out of state. It says here that last month, the California governor issued a drought emergency proclamation for 41 of the state's 58 counties, empowering the state to take greater control over water resources. Ladies and gentlemen, water is everything. Without water, we have absolutely nothing. On Thursday, Lake Mead's water level is projected to hit an elevation of 1,071 feet, sinking it to its lowest elevation in record since 1930. Thursday's level is about 4 feet below the level that would trigger a federal declaration of a water shortage, which would cut water supplies to 3 states, ladies and gentlemen, including California, Arizona, Nevada, and Mexico. And now remember that with this lower water level that exists in Lake Mead, the hydroelectric plant that sits under the dam or that sits behind the dam, it's not going to be producing as much power as it normally produces. So in addition to not having enough water, they're going to have to start having blackouts or brownouts. A brownout is when power is reduced to certain areas and the power that's coming into your home isn't really good power. Arizona can have its supply cut by 320,000 acre-feet, which is a year's supply of water for nearly 1 million households. And take a look at these before and after pictures, ladies and gentlemen. This is before 2016. And look at how high the water level is. Now let's take a look at what it looks like today. Look at that. Look at how low that is. I mean, it may not seem like a lot because of a picture, but if you've ever been there, look at the size of the people that are on the walkway. They look like ants. Now imagine how much water that is. It's incredible. And here it says before in 2016, which is the left. Let's go ahead. This is 2016. You can see all of the snow cover. And this is images from the National Snow and Ice Center that shows that snow cover in California is now at its lowest in 21 years, according to satellite pictures or satellite records. This was back in 2016. Now look at the drastic change in snow cover. There's almost none. There's only a little bit of snow at the very highest peaks of the mountain. Now, it's very important that you have a good thick snow cover during the winters, because that snow does melt and irrigate down into dams and into aquifers, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just not good news. You know, the message is this. There's nothing at all, nothing that you can do about this. Nothing that we can do about this. All right? This is nature taking its course. You're going to hear a whole bunch of different articles and maybe channels saying, yep, this is due to climate change. Does it really matter? Does it really matter what this is due to? And are the actions that would be taken against us because they want to blame people for climate change when climate changes every day? The actions that they're going to take against us will be more draconian in nature as this crisis worsens. So take care of your future by stocking up now. I'm telling you, this is going to be huge. This is not going to stop next year. This may get a little bit better for a couple of months during the winter season, but this is not going to stop next year, ladies and gentlemen. This is a cycle, and it will repeat itself according to the previous cycles that we've had in this same kind of magnitude. Now, we can't really record this from past cycles because before 1930, we didn't have the Hoover Dam. So we couldn't tell how much water there was or wasn't. But we do know that around 1930, there was the Dust Bowl. And of course, if you read certain articles, they even blame the Dust Bowls on humans. They say that the reason because the Dust Bowl happened was because farmers were growing too much wheat because the price of wheat was high and they were degrading the land. That may be so. That may be so that they were degrading the land. We've been degrading the land for thousands of years without really replenishing the nutrients that should go in it. But that may be so that farmers were doing that and that they helped to create that situation that occurred during the Dust Bowl by the land being degraded and not having a lot of upper biomass to hold everything together. However, they didn't create the drought. They didn't tell the earth you have to stop raining. They didn't create any situations or any conditions that made it stop raining. So it has nothing to do, in my opinion. This has nothing to do, in my opinion, with humankind doing something that is adverse that would make water go away. It's just nature. So it's going to happen no matter what. So you better prepare for this. And here's a grandeur picture of what it looks like. Now, if you remember that first picture, the very first one of where the water levels were at 2016, if you follow my mouse right here, they were up to around here. They were up to around here. And now look at how far they've fallen. And this here behind it is Lake Mead. And you can see the watermarks. You can see how high the water levels used to go. And this just goes back. It's incredible. I mean, seeing this picture is incredible. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a spillway. This says here the dam spillway on the border between Arizona and Nevada is seen dry at the Hoover Dam on May 13th of 2021. The Hoover Dam, completed in 1936, impounds Lake Mead, the largest reservoir in the United States by volume. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if the largest reservoir in the United States by volume is this low, can you just imagine all of the other dams and all of the other lakes that are drying up? This is going to be life-changing. It really is. I'm not saying this to scare anyone. It's just the truth. We are going through some really crazy times, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said before, there's nothing that you can do to change it on a personal level. Nor I. We can't make it rain. We can't make it snow. This is going to get worse. And it's not just going to affect Californians. It's not just going to affect people from Nevada or Arizona. Goodness gracious, Nevada, if they run out of water, Nevada's dead. Nevada counts on out-of-state water. They just don't have enough water unless they bring it in from dams like this and from other projects. And look at this. This is just massive. I'm just sharing these pictures with you. But there's a couple of pictures here that I want to share with you that are pretty incredible. It continues to say here, it is crucial to the water supply of 25 million people, including the cities of Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, Tucson, and Las Vegas. And they're talking about that the Mead, that Lake Mead, or the dam, is crucial to all those people. And here again, ladies and gentlemen, the dam generates electricity for parts of Arizona, California, and Nevada. And as the water in Lake Mead drops, so does the dam's electrical output. On average, the dam usually produces 2,000 megawatts, which is enough electricity for about 8 million people, according to the Western Area Power Administration. Tuesday's capacity was just set. Oh, wow. Wow. Tuesday's capacity was only 1.5 megawatts. So what was it before? So it's dropped by 25%. Yes, dropped by 25%. Every foot of lake level decline means about 6 megawatts loss of capacity. And it's only going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. We are only in June. California's rainy season, or the West Coast rainy season, starts around October, November. And we are only in June, ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's going to end up gripping everyone in the U.S. eventually. Because like I said, you think you're paying high prices for food now? Give it a year. This is a leading indicator. I mentioned that word before. This is a leading indicator, meaning that the effects that we are seeing right now on these water shortages and mega droughts, they may not be affecting us right now because we're usually about 1 year behind, or 6 months to a year behind on what we are consuming. Meaning that what they are producing now, we will be consuming in 6 months to a year. And what happens if they're not producing anything because of this? Or if they're only producing 50% of what they were able to produce before? Ask yourself, what's going to happen? I mean, it's simple economics, simple math. The prices are going to go up. And I'm talking about prices of everything. You know, cattle need to eat. Chicken need to eat. They need to drink. Almonds, one almond uses 1 gallon of water. Right? From the time that it starts growing to the time that it's processed, 1 gallon of water. Every time you eat a small almond, just one, there's a gallon of water there. It took a gallon of water to produce that. And I do believe that in the United States or the world, I think it's like 80 or 90% of all of the almonds that are consumed in the world come from California. And here's just a few more. And look at this. This was during the good times, ladies and gentlemen. You see this? This was the good times. It says here, water intake towers at Hoover Dam, located on the border of Nevada, stand at 726 feet tall and was constructed between 1931 and 36. Anyways, this is a water tower. This is the level of the water right here in February of 2002. This is the level of the water, February of in 2006. You can see it's a little lower. And this was definitely the good times. We will see these times again, ladies and gentlemen. We will see them again. But the question is when? How long will this drought last? Look at that. That is incredible. This is what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you these pictures right here so that you can see the gravity of how much water has actually lowered in Lake Mead. Look at this. These are docks for boats. These are boating docks. So that means that the water used to go up to about here. And people, oh no, probably about here. And people were able to bring their boats on. And there's docks over here. And the boating docks are completely bare. It looks like it would be a lot of fun for skateboarders to come on here and do some skateboarding. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is incredible. All right, we'll go ahead and finish it off at that. That was the end of the pictures and the article. I truly do hope that you're prepping. I think this video's been a little bit long, so if it went a little too long, apologize. I just really needed to put this out there. These things are going to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. They are. They may get better for just a little bit of time, but no, they're going to get worse long term. And the powers that be will use any crisis to their benefit. Trust me, they will use any crisis to their benefit. So prepare yourselves now. Stop listening to these people that are naysayers, that say, oh, you should just buy what you need. Well, you are buying what you need. You're buying it for the future. It's insurance. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, have a great day. Thank you very much again for those of you that joined in today during our premiere. I don't do very many premieres, but when I do, it's really a lot of fun to hang out with you all during the chats. All right. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I'm out.